Hello, everybody. So it's Wednesday. And for those of you who were around 23 years ago, can't believe it's been that many years, but today is 9/11. So in 2001, we had the terror attack on the Twin Towers in New York. And if you were alive and young enough at that time, sorry, not young enough, old enough at that time, to be cognizant of what that meant, I would think that we have a memory of where we were when that happened. I know I do. And in looking back, one of the things that I keep seeing online today, obviously, is never forget, never forget. And, I want to think about that question with you, or that statement with you. Why do we never forget? Because of the lives that it involved. There was a Catholic meme on Facebook this morning, and I know I posted it on my page, which recalls the loss of life. I think the sentiment of that meme was simply this, not simple, but that the day before 9/11, people went to bed thinking that they were going to get up. I mean, think about it. They enumerated, all of the people that were impacted by this, but the people that were getting on an airplane thinking they were going somewhere, not going to demolish the tower. They mentioned the people that were preparing for work the next day, thinking about getting to bed so that they could get to work in the Twin Towers the next morning. The firefighters, the police officers, the bystanders, so many people were impacted deeply by what happened on that day. But like I said, where were you? If you were alive and old enough to know what was going on, where were you on that day? I remember I have a lifelong friend who called me in the morning. She's 2 hours ahead of me in Chicago. And I was getting my kids ready for school or daycare. I'm trying to think of how old they were at the time. But I was rousting the family and running around like you do as a mom when you have a million things going on. And I remember my friend Debbie calling me, and she said, do you have the TV on? And I said, no. She said, turn it on. And there was that picture of a plane striking the Twin Towers, and that puff of enormous smoke, which pointed in the direction of fire and everything that went with it. The reason we remember, I think also, is to remind us the importance of peace, of unity, of what would it be, healed division. All of the things that lead to violence, terror, any of that. Anything that we can do to promote and sanctify peace in our life, in our family, in our world. World is a big one. That one you and I don't have control over, but we do have control over our own hearts and the hearts of the people that we are connected to. We can inspire and remind the importance of what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, to be a peace lover, a peace bringer, somebody who, in whatever small way we can, brings the gospel of Jesus Christ to our portion. of the world. I've heard this said, especially in the crazy times that we live in. Maybe all times feel crazy, but I know ours does. That you and I were born for this time. It's no accident that you and I are here. What can we, as followers of Jesus Christ, do to make a difference in the world in which you and I live? It's a great question for today. So I'm going to remind you, this is going to sound like I'm not connecting things, but I think I am. You and I are a combination of the things that we live in, the media we listen to, the things we do, the place we work, the person we work for. There are so many things that are coming at you and me, impacting the way we think or influencing the way we think. Turn on TV, oh my goodness. I mean, if you're watching the news for 5 minutes, trust me, you've been steered in some direction. Read and pray with the church. So in the midst of my thinking about 9/11, I did morning prayer, and morning prayer is steeped in the Psalms, in scripture, all of that. So what I walked away with in my prayer this morning came from one of the antiphons that I prayed. So I'm going to remind myself and share with you what one of my antiphons was for today. Simply this, not simply that this God of ours is a God who saves. May we be reminded that we have a God who loves us, who created us, who looks over us and cares for us, and cares for the people that you and I love. This God of ours is a God who saves. May we put our trust in that God, not in politics, not in candidates, not in the drivel of this world. That's God of ours is a God who saves, and a God who loves us, and God who is just waiting for you and me to reach out. So in this, may our hearts pray for those who were impacted on 9/11 that I'm sure still have family and friends that remember, because some of us remember too. Pray to God for them, pray to God for us, for our unity and for our country. The United States has always been a bastion of hope for the rest of the world. Not sure we're showing that right now with the division and the politics and our candidates and all of that. Pray for our country, pray for our world, and remind ourselves that this God of ours is a God who saves, who created this world, and who loves us. Have a great middle of your week. Aim for the weekend. See you at Mass. God bless you.